Hello folks, this is Keenlanar. Sorry it's been so long since I released my last video. I've been kind of without a computer for the last several months, but I managed to get things fixed, and I thought I'd show you the things I've been messing around with on Minecraft. So the first thing that I built is a sticky piston redstone door that is completely concealable within the wall. And I'll show you in a little bit why the switch has to be so far away from the door. This, it's designed for, hiding secret bases, things like that. And, when you get back in the other side, you're able to shut it behind you. This is, what it takes to make it work. When you flip one of your switches, it goes into an XOR gate. And I'm going to assume most of you know what it is. If not, the quick version is when these inputs are opposite, it's turned on. When they're the same, it's turned off, which has the nice little side effect of making it so it doesn't matter which side you flip it from, it will always switch positions. It runs into this XOR gate, which will feed into these two pistons, and I considered having it so that all three pistons were like this. This made the amount of redstone required so much smaller. I would have had to nearly double the amount of redstone that I've already got here in order to just add, another set of pistons to push out like this. So it feeds into here with a 4-tick delay, and at the same time it goes up this torch tower and feeds into this and utilizes the fact that redstone powers pistons 2 blocks straight down when it's on top of a block. So when it's receiving power up here, it pushes these out. This is powered first, but it pushes these out, and then once these hit the power, it pushes them out. When you turn it off, these lose power first, so this piston loses power first and pulls back, and then these pistons lose power after a 2-tick delay and pull the block and the piston back. So, it's a nice little setup. It's actually remarkably easy to build. This is, so 13 by 6 by 8. But the issue that I ran into is I don't like the way it looks when you're coming from the inside. You see how you're staring right into your piston's ass here. So I decided to build it again like this. So it's a little less wide, but it's a little thicker. You have to have these torches in here to keep monsters from spawning in it when it's closed. You reach the other end, flip the switch again, and it closes it behind you. So this way, on both ends, it looks nice and clean. And so what I've got here, it's basically the same thing. You have a little more space because you need to have room for the redstone up here. You have your XOR gate that feeds into your bottom pistons, follows the torch tower up, and then you just mirror the same thing on either side. So I said I was going to show you why you couldn't have this switch any closer. If you put the switch right here, then the issue you would run into is that it would be powering this. It would be powering this particular piston, and so it would look ugly when it fires early. You could put the switch down here if you wanted, except it wouldn't go quite like that. It would be a bit more like this. And that's a possibility, but I really don't like the way that it looks when it's on the ground. Also, it would have to be here. I'm not sure what I was thinking. I don't really like the way it looks when it's on the ground, and I toyed with the idea of having the switch be actually on the ground, but really, in my opinion, it is not the worst thing in the world to have it a little bit far away, and it winds up, looking better when it's at head height. I've toyed around with the idea of possibly having it so that you have a button that you carry around, and instead of having a switch here, you put the button down and then lead it into a T flip-flop, and then take the button with you so that you can actually hide this on a mountain. Or, I say a mountain because, you've already got cliffs, and it would be easier to hide than, say, if you just had, this sticking out of the middle of a flat desert like this. So this is something that, I really enjoyed making. I know that this is probably a little bit rudimentary for a lot of people, but I quit playing relatively shortly after they introduced pistons, and so I only, I only had a chance to mess around with some of the piston things. So I'm still learning, a lot about the way that they work, a lot of circuits you can design with them, and I gotta say, I'm pretty pleased with this mechanism. If anyone else has an improvement on it, or would like me to go a little bit more in detail about how to build it, go ahead, let me know. I'm just doing one more walkthrough so that people can kind of get a closer look in case they had any questions about this. Alright, well, I'm pretty sure that I've been rambling long enough. Hopefully I'll be able to make my videos a little bit more consistently in the near future. I have a few ideas for the next few videos that I'm going to make, but in the meantime, this is KeenLaneArt signing off.